So I will do the meeting is called to order at 6:31. We have, I'll do the roll call. Bonnie,
Here.
Carl,
Here.
Marianne,
Here.
Phil.
Here.
Awesome. And Steve told me he couldn't make it this evening. We also have Mark Sturgeon is here. He is a potential board member, so he's checking things out. So let's make this look extremely fun this evening.
We already tried to scare him off, Madam Chair. It didn't work.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we have on the agenda a review of minutes from our meeting on the 16th. Did anyone have any edits, corrections, anything else in the minutes? Nope. All right, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of July 16th.
I'll second. Or Phil can.
Oh, I think,
Phil's muted.
yeah.
I am. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah. And Phil, you look a little different this evening than you did the last time we had a meeting.
Much to my wife's pleasure.
Yeah. All right. So minutes are approved. All right. We have a public hearing.
We need a vote, Madam Chair.
Oh, we do. All right. My favorite part. I'm trying to get out of having to call the roll a billion times. All right. So the motion is to approve the minutes, and I will read the roll. Bonnie.
Aye.
Carl.
Aye.
Marianne.
Aye.
Phil.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Now we have a boundary line adjustment on 395 Daniel Webster Highway for a boundary line adjustment on PID number 233-004 and PID number 233-005 to add 0.98 acres to create a conforming parcel of 1.92 acres. Add frontage to the highway, and the donor parcel is left with 33.4 acres after the adjustment. This property lies within the agricultural zone. Do we have a representative from this?
I had been talking to Mr. French, and I'm going to call him right now and see where he is.
Okay.
He was supposed to be zooming in, Madam Chair.
All right. We can give it a second.
So we can still do it though without him, right?
Well, I think it would be up to the chair, but yeah,
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah. It seems pretty straightforward. It is a boundary line. I think some of the files were called subdivision, but this is a boundary line, right?
Are you going to come to the meeting?
Technically, a boundary line adjustment is still a subdivision,
Oh, man.
even if it's not creating more lots. But yes.
Okay, I think we
Um,
go full on different applications for them.
let me-
Sure. No, it makes sense.
Hey,
I was a little confused about the configuration of the parent lot, but when I looked up the tax map, it became much clearer as to why this makes tremendous sense.
Any update from Kevin?
He was trying to connect, Madam Chair. Jules is on the phone with him now.
Okay.
I mean, certainly you could, put this in abeyance and come back to it if you would like tonight.
Okay. Let's see. Can we jump to the conditional use permit?
Certainly.
Okay.
I have one for an existing residence up on Reservoir Road. It meets all of the criteria. He included everything that we needed, that we asked for. And oddly enough, he actually divulged that it was in fact for an in-law. So which is kind of interesting. Having very familiar with the house, the ADU is going to be in the room over the garage, which is attached to the home.
Okay.
So it'll be accessed from the second floor. It has an exterior stairway, so it meets fire code.
Okay.
Has its own bathroom. Very little common space used, but you know, in this, it could be completely sealed from the rest of the building in the future if they wanted to.
Okay. So just a little background for everyone. When the state passed down a statute that said that we had to allow for accessory dwelling units in that conformed within zoning setbacks and things like that. That was what, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and we could just accept the state statute or make a few changes. And we made a few changes. We set a size limit. I think we required one of the units to be owner occupied. And we also set it up as a conditional use permit, really to be able to track how the ordinance was being used. I think this is maybe the third we've seen in as many years. So, so we do vote on it, but it's really just, you know, they provide us with information. They don't present anything or anything like that. So, does the board need to see anything? The application or the conditional use permit or the plat for that, or the plan.
My initial concern was that it sounded like something that he was trying to put together where it would start as one rental unit and then he could expand and add more rental units. But if it's for an in-law, that doesn't sound like what he wants to do at all.
And
So I have
and
no problem.
to be honest, Carl, we can't really ask the question.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a permitted use, you know, so we need to do it there. Certainly, they could rent it out. They couldn't put in more than one legally. But this also offers the opportunity to, you know, the couple could move into the smaller unit and rent out the house at the same time, you know, at the same time. So it's essentially making it a 2-unit dwelling. And that's why we linked it to owner occupancy, because there would have been a bunch of 2 units down in the village.
Yeah.
We also, in the agricultural zone currently, multiple unit dwelling of 3 to 6 units is allowed by special exception. So that's something that would have to come before us anyway. So we'd see it at that point. All right, so I'm right, Brian, we need a vote on this.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Okay, so someone could make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for this ADU.
I'll make the motion that we approve the conditional use permit.
Thanks, Bill.
I don't have any audio.
Is there a second?
Great.
I'll second.
Second.
Okay.
Bonnie.
We got
Right.
plenty of seconds.
And seconds are usually not the problem, it's the motion.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna read the roll. Bonnie,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Mary Ann,
Aye.
Bill,
Yes, aye.
thank you. Okay, so the conditional use permit is approved.
I can't get my stupid. Okay.
And I can both see that Kevin is here and I can hear him, so we can go now back to the public hearing for the boundary line adjustment.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Oh, yeah.
Am I authorized to sign this, or would you like to sign it yourself?
Please sign it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so moving back to the boundary line adjustment. Hi, Kevin. The Steve's here.
Kevin
We could hear him.
was here.
Yeah.
He was.
Let's give it a second. All right.
Kevin?
Did he call in, Jules, or is he?
He certainly can.
Okay, no, I was just wondering if he had called in. I just wasn't sure if he had.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, seems like we've lost him.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I think he just said he can't hear anything.
Kevin? Oh,
I don't seem to have a chat option or I'm trying to drop something.
no. Can you?
We got a couple
Does he
of
text?
administrative matters if you want to do it again, Madam Chair.
Sure.
No.
Um,
We have the zoning review.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to take a sort of an open-ended thing. I don't want to have him jump right into it while we're in the midst of
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
We did get another notice for a cell tower. This one's in Thornton.
Okay.
Again, no effect on the town of Plymouth, positive or negative. And then also, I have the legislative calendar for this year. And the first date of note is Monday, November 9th. That's the first day to accept petitions for amendments to the zoning. And I'll make sure that I put this in a user-friendly form and send it out to the board, but I wanted to, I know you guys were interested.
I think what's most useful to us is knowing what the last date we can get any of our changes in for a public hearing and a planning board meeting.
Yeah. And certainly, I mean, it's from NHMA and it covers everybody. So I had to go through it and find the things that were relevant to us. But I will consolidate that and send it out in an email to y'all.
Are you there, Kevin?
Let
me just try calling him. He's okay. Hey, I've got you on speaker.
Okay, so I can't, for some reason, I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
No, you were muted according to the screen, Kevin.
What's that?
You were muted according to what we saw.
Okay.
We were getting bits of his audio periodically when he wasn't muted, but if he can't hear us, the call is certainly probably a better way to move forward at this point.
I agree.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you on the phone, but I can't hear you on my computer.
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
So,
We did.
God,
How about now?
oh my God,
Okay.
this is so annoying.
Yeah.
I can't
All right. Okay, so, all right, Kevin, I'm gonna kick you off of here. I'm gonna mute you on.
What's that?
Okay, try it now. Wait.
Yeah, I can't hear him if he's
Go
talking.
ahead, try it now. Sorry.
How about now? God, I get nothing but feedback.
Okay, this is really
Yeah.
good. Going good.
Okay, well, I can hear him roughly through the speaker now, or through
Okay, let's
Jules'
just
connection.
try that, I guess. You can do this, or you can call on the phone.
Yeah.
With a landline or just your cell phone and just dial
Okay.
in.
Okay. What's the number to dial in?
Okay. It's 1-646 555 558 8656. Then there's a meeting code.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute.
1-646
Mm-hmm.
558.
Nope, just 558.
Just 558.
Yeah. And then
Yeah. Okay.
8656.
Okay.
Meeting code 410 539-7912.
So all I need to dial is 558-8656, correct?
1646
Yep,
558 8646.
8646,
Yeah.
okay. And then the meeting code.
And then press pound twice. That's it. I
Okay.
mean, it's a lot.
I think
Okay.
it's
Okay.
8656 according to this agenda.
Yeah, 8656. That's what I said.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder how the major networks get all this to work so smoothly.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm happy to, I feel like Kevin's going to pop in any minute. Otherwise, I don't necessarily want to pop up the zoning map now. Let's folks want me to. I'll jump into that. All right. I'm gonna open up the zoning map now in hopes that maybe that'll get Kevin in here sooner rather than later. Okay.
All right.
This, and I can't see, just let me know if Kevin's here and we want to switch gears really quickly. These are going to be really funny minutes to review, by the way. But what I have here, and there's some corrections that need to be made to the existing zone, the map that's here. But this is what I downloaded from the people who do our online tax map. And what we have here is the, I'd like to just think about our boundaries for these potential newer zones. The, essentially the Tenny Mountain Highway District and the Gateway District. And so I'd like to just maybe, if we can, just draw some rough boxes around those areas where we see the gateway happening. And I think anywhere the gateway is not happening, and when we're in the ag zone, that becomes the open space residential. So, and I can refine this a little more. We can make some definitions, but really, we had talked about, basically this is the highway commercial. We had talked about the highway commercial becoming the gateway district, and then anything along Route 3 down here. I think I would need a little guidance.
I'm on now. This meeting's going. I'm trying to call in. So, all right.
Kevin, can you hear us? Huh.
I think that is a no.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin,
What's that?
can you hear us?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's hearing us. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know where it is on this one on the icons, of course.
In, but
If you're on your phone, it's the lower left.
I don't know how he can't hear us. He's in. We can hear him. Does he live locally?
Robin.
Okay, so he's here, but not really here. So I think what we need to look at is, you can see right here, here's Tenny Mountain Highway. This is the ICD right here. So I think we need to make a decision on how far, if we're going to incorporate the we're calling, I think, the Tenny Mountain. Can't remember exactly what we decided to call it. On the other side of Tenny Mountain Highway, where the Gateway District is. Does it go all the way to the Hebron Town line here? Does it go all the way to the Bridgewater Town line down here? Is there a certain distance on either side of the highway that we want to include as gateway? And then anything that's not gateway or
Brian.
on highway becomes the open space residential.
I just wanted to make a quick comment. So I sit on the Economic Development Committee. It's still in its infancy. We've been doing it, meeting about 6 weeks, lots of fact finding and talking with people, and certainly zoning, not issues in particular, but as we move forward, zoning that we need to either align, make sure so the planning board and the economic development committee, I would imagine, needs to be in some sort of sync with each other as we plan these changes. I'd hate to have to revisit them.
Marianne, is the Economic Development Committee far enough into their process that they'd be able to provide comment on a draft if we were to get it to them at this point?
That's a really good question. We're still even struggling for cohesiveness within the group. As it's sort of who's going to take this and coordinate this. Obviously we need someone who's experienced in economic development to help guide us before we can even start and lay out projects. We do have a few developers on, and they're looking potentially, these are all potentials, at workforce housing. So there's that. There's other thoughts around like a commerce park type of environment. There's talk of light manufacturing, but this is all very much in its infancy stage. I just wanted to throw that out there. So hopefully we're kind of somehow going to get on the same page and not have to revisit anything and make sure that we're all in sync with each other.
Right. No, I'm in support of that, and I'm wondering, if we can successfully identify what areas we would like to see, for Gateway District and highway, the Tenny Mountain area. Obviously part of this process is getting feedback from people in town, and the Economic Development Committee would be a valuable partner in getting feedback on this. So my thinking is we should take a stab at this and make our educated best estimates on where these zones should be, and then move forward with seeking feedback from other parts of town or other people in town.
Yeah, we don't even know what we want it to look like yet, right? We still haven't gone.
But that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, so how they want to, what they even want to put, what they're thinking or what we're thinking, retail, which hopefully we'll stay away from that. But just making sure we have all the, all our ducks in a row amongst each other.
Sure.
And from the outline of the zones, and sitting on both sides here, they're fairly close. The Gateway District feeds right into economic development.
Yep.
As does looking at uses and perhaps expanding to accommodate workforce housing. But obviously those would not necessarily be. I don't think we've painted ourselves in a corner just yet.
Right, I agree. I just wanted to bring it up early enough.
But I think we're actually closer than we may think we are, too, is my point.
Good.
I think Phil's idea would at least supply a concrete starting point, because right now it's all theoretical.
Right.
I think we've also set some, right now we're just talking about the spatial arrangement of this. We've really put some work into what these zones will look like. We have a lot of suggested conditional use permits, but not a lot of change at this point to any of the permitted uses in any of these areas. So I think that is still fairly open. So yeah, I think we're still in the planning phases of this, or obviously we're always in the planning phase, but we're still working on this now. I do want to be careful that, we need to maintain this forward momentum, and I think it's going to be a crunch for us to even get to this next town meeting with this complete. So I want to make sure that we're moving this process forward and not. I don't want to get hung up on, well, this might change. We might have other ideas down in the future. We need to make sure we're not continually holding off on the forward momentum, waiting for more input and stuff like that. So, but.
So just to start discussion, I'm going back to Steve's recommendations, and that one of the things he had said that portions of the agricultural districts that front on Route 3, 3A, and 25 do have access to some or all of the infrastructure, and therefore should be in their own gateway district.
Hello.
With different use and dimensional standards.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Can you hear us? Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yay.
So do you want to wrap up what you were saying, and then we'll jump back to Kevin?
Yeah. So my just for a place to start, I would propose the gateway district could be defined by all land within 500 feet of Route 3, Route 25, or Route 3A, excepting those areas that are specifically included in the industrial, commercial, or industrial, whatever we name the other Tenny Mountain Highway areas.
Okay. What about Tenny Mountain itself?
The mountain?
The development within there.
Yeah. Well, they have frontage in the gateway zone, and then they would be in what would be, I guess, still agricultural where the mountain itself is located.
That's what I'm asking is, does that need to be incorporated? I mean, are we limiting what can happen there where there's some potential development that's happening? Are we kind of pulling the rug out from under them at all by changing them to, if they're not within 500 feet of the 3A, then they would become the open space residential.
Being an existing use, I mean, they could continue. The only difficulty is that any changes moving forward would likely require a variance, but that's probably the case now. We're not, if we move forward without including that specific area, it really doesn't change things for them. In my mind, I think, if they're kind of in the agricultural district now, or would the change to open space residential be more restricting than what's there now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd have to.
Yeah. So I bring that up because I feel like we've been presented with several different non-binding discussions and not proposals, but plans of what might be happening there. So I just don't want to.
Sorry, Rebecca. Are we retaining anything like the agricultural zone, or would that be open space development zone? Or open space residential, I'm sorry.
There's going to be nothing called the agricultural zone.
But agriculture and recreational uses wouldn't be prohibited in areas where they're currently permitted, correct?
No, of course not.
Okay, so if we it depends on how it's written up. The zone description, Phil, I think is the answer. If it accommodates work like Tenny, which is mixed use. I mean, if you look at it, it's recreation and housing, and
Right.
most of their plans for commercial stuff actually would occur adjacent to Route 3A.
Right.
So, there will always be carve outs as you're overlaying this on an existing town. So as long as we're aware that there are some longstanding carve outs, I think that we're safe to do this as long as we don't write it in such a way that it's going to lead them into a trap at the zoning board.
I don't. My intention is not to trap anyone.
I understand what your intention is. I'm just saying that it would take a little effort on our part to not do that.
Right. Okay. No. So, if Rebecca, if you want to table this,
Okay.
I'm fine with that. We can pick this up at some point in the future.
Okay. All right. So let's jump back again to the public hearing for the boundary line adjustment. Are you ready, Kevin, to give us a brief
I think
presentation?
so. I think so. If you can hear me now.
We can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So you know how this works. A brief presentation will make a determination on whether the application is complete. If we have to answer any questions about its completeness, we'll do so then before we vote. We'll then further the discussion, open it up for a public hearing. So if you have a quick presentation on the application, please go ahead, Kevin.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to try to share this with you if it works. No.
So do you need me to make you I'm going to make you co-host.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, for some reason it won't share.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Kevin, I think you're logged in twice, so I'm gonna just make you
Okay.
co-host.
Well, I was just trying to. I was trying. Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to. I was trying to get the. There it is. If you can see that.
Okay, did you go to share screen?
Yeah.
I mean, we have the
There
paperwork.
it is. Oops.
Okay. All right. Well, if you have the paperwork,
We do, yeah.
It's a very simple boundary line adjustment. There is Mike Ahern is conveying to Mr. Quayle a small piece of land to the east of his property that abuts it and runs down between Mike Ahern's property and Bruce Ahern's property. Yes, okay. It's kind of an L-shaped sliver of land that runs down there, 0.98 acres, to be conveyed to Mr. Quayle along his existing boundary lines. It has frontage on Route 3 and then just some backland that butts up against the field below.
Okay. So the Quayle's property is the one with the gravel drive and driveway with a house and a pool.
Yes, and it says the existing section of the line to be extinguished is the light gray. And that area is going to be removed. That line is going to be extinguished, and then the new line will just follow the kind of the blue line that will go down to the property that's the corner of both Aherns, Bruce and Mike.
Okay.
Kevin, so can I just clarify that the only new property line being created here is the one that's identified as 93.2 feet?
The new property line would be yes, that one, and then it would come down to 348 and then back up to the road,
down to the dead
193.
Okay, all right. Yep.
Yeah. It basically doubles the size of his lot.
Okay.
And it doesn't leave any landlocked parcel on the back.
No, because Mike owns all the land to the north of that.
Okay.
Yeah, the tax map makes it much clearer than,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and I've
as to
got
which-
that,
which the parent property was.
that visual here somewhere. Two.
Any questions from the board on the completeness of this application?
I would move that we accept the application as complete.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion or questions? All right, I'm going to read the roll. Bonnie,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Marianne,
Aye.
Phil,
Aye.
and me. I realize I haven't voted on anything yet. I keep forgetting. To do
Madam Chair, did you open the hearing?
No, I've not.
They-
But this
they
is
just,
just a
complete
completeness determination.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, so turning my head to see this a little better. Any other questions from the board?
That's.
All right, well, I am going to open up the public hearing at 7:08. If any members of the public are here and wish to speak, now is the time.
Yes,
Does anyone-
Frank Miller, member of the public.
Wow,
Hi. This is all new to me, but I stand in support of this application. It appears to meet all our requirements and character of the neighborhood, and I believe it deserves approval. Thank you.
thanks, Frank. Nice to see you.
Same here.
Meetings haven't been quite the same.
Right.
Anyone else wish to speak of any nature about this application? All right. It is still, did I open it up? Oh, it's 7:09. It's now 7:09. I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the board. Any further questions or discussions about this application?
I think it makes perfect sense. I don't think it's, there's much to scratch our heads over here.
Okay.
Can I make a motion to approve this?
Sure.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve this application.
Thanks, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
Accept.
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? I will now read the roll. Bonnie,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Marianne.
Aye.
Phil,
Aye.
and Rebecca, aye. Okay. Kevin, I think you spent more time trying to get into this meeting than we did.
I know.
Yes, he did.
So, thanks for sticking it out.
Thank you.
Okay. So it seems like maybe we need to bring it back to the zoning subcommittee to maybe, would it be easier for the board to see a map already laid out with 500-foot barriers roughly on either side of all state routes, and then an estimation of where the Tenny Mountain Highway district is going to go? Would that be better, or do we want to talk through that as a board?
I would like to see a map of proposed changes before and after.
Yeah, I think it'll
At
give
the
people a
minimum.
better handle on, the depth of it,
Yeah.
for example.
Visual, and
And we might be able to pick out red flags like Phil did with Tenny Mountain.
How about from the board? Any comments?
Not me.
All right, so it sounds like maybe trying to do this in the full board is not the way to go. I'm running into some serious time constraints, so my ability to be able to do this on my own time is pretty limited right now. So, but Phil, maybe we can get Steve at some point in the next 2 weeks to try and talk through this.
My availability is increased over the past couple of weeks, so I should be able to put my head into this a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to be driving something forward right now, so I've got enough other things I'm moving forward in other places. So
Right.
all right. We'll look at the agenda again. Any other administrative matters or things we need to know, Brian?
That was it, Madam Chair.
Well, there's just the cell phone
We did
tower.
those
Oh, we did it.
while you were
Okay.
talking.
I was checking.
Mark, not to put you on the spot, but if you have any questions or anything, you're welcome to speak up or, yeah, glad you're here.
Well, yeah, and certainly interesting stuff. Glad to see Kevin able to make the call. I think for me, I find probably the zoning question the most interesting thing. As someone who's lived here only for a short period of time, I have found the extended agricultural zone a little perplexing. As someone who grew up in an agricultural area, it seemed a little different to me. But I would love to know what the different zones, what the definition of those different zones are going to be. So I hear you talking about a gateway zone and so on and so forth, but
yeah,
that I'm sure comes with experience, and you get to learn.
We have been establishing some definitions and purposes behind each of the zones, which doesn't exist in the current zoning ordinance. But yeah, it seems like agriculture is agricultural in name only, and something I think we've dealt with as a board and dealing with the public is not getting too hung up on what each zone is called and really looking towards its purpose and what's allowed there. But yeah, agricultural I think is it makes it confusing. I think at one point I tried to number all the zones instead, so we wouldn't be biased by what it's actually called. So.
I'd like to offer Mark, if you want to give me a call here at the office tomorrow, we'll get all your identifiers and I can send you this stuff via email.
That'd be awesome. And it's Steve, correct?
No.
Sorry.
Yes.
It's
Brian.
That's Brian.
Mike.
And I think I copied you on the same email. I can connect you via email too if that makes it easier.
Yep. Thank you.
Great.
I guess my only other question would be: is that the big project that you're working on currently? That's kind of the thing to do.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work in the past 4 years or so, updating the zoning ordinance or updating the master plan, and now as a result, we're working on updating the zoning ordinance. The master plan being the vision for where we want this town to go, and the zoning ordinance is built on that vision, but it sets up the regulatory chief so we can adhere to that vision. So.
If I can share my perspective, I think we spend the majority of our time in meetings dealing with the administrative issues of applications and approvals when opportunities like these are the true opportunity to plan and create new opportunities and new zones and definitions that will kind of guide the community moving forward. So I'm Mark, I'm not long in town myself, and I've only been on the board for a short while, and I'm still getting used to things. I do have some planning experience in the background, but I think if you're interested, your energy would be appreciated. So.
I'm glad after a long day I've seemed like I'm full of energy. So
Yeah.
Grab him, Madam Chair. That's the guy we want.
Yeah, and there's nothing more interesting and fun than these night Zoom meetings with as a town volunteer. So there's always funny stuff that's happening. So anyway, was that anything else from the board? Maybe like a motion to adjourn or something?
Public hearing, Madam Chair?
Oh, is there a member?
There is.
Oh, yes, I would like to allow the public to speak. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
Thank you. It's Frank Miller. the public. First, I'd like to say it's been a long time since I've been in a room with a planning board, which is very nice, and got my heart rate back to where it should be. But finally, I'd like to say thank you to Brian Murphy for being a town planner and all the work you've done over the years. As
Thank
a
you, Frank.
citizen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Wow.
That was nice, wasn't
It's
it?
too nice.
I should say something nice like that, shouldn't I?
I'm not dying.
Yeah, I know. You're not done yet.
Yeah.
You're not done
All right. Anything else from the board?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Woohoo!
Second that one.
All right, I'm gonna read the roll. Phil,
Aye.
Marianne,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Bonnie,
I
Rebecca, I. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks everyone.